What up, what up, what up? Peace. This is Krill from Out the Box Talks. Welcome to another new episode. I got my brother to the next to me. I was going to say left, but I don't know if you're right based on what's good,
just
brother.
Hey, look this way like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yo,
How you doing, bro?
It's the big A-Lev back up in the building, Out the Box Talking. Tonight, we got a special treat for you guys tonight. And I'm gonna let Krill intro that in.
Indeed, man. It's a pleasure to have you here, my brother. And for another new show with the guests that we got tonight. These are two artists that we've been hearing about for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? One of them in particular, me and you know, and I know you even go further back with the brother. Right. And they got a new project out. They go by the name Agents of Reform. And they got this new project out called The Agenda. It's a hip-hop project, a lot of lyricism, just quality, lyrics and beats, man. So I'm really excited to talk with these brothers tonight, man. Before we do that, though, I do want to shout out some things with the platform. We got our website, outtheboxmedia.com, where you can find access to all of our previous episodes. It's outtheboxmedia.com. You can go right on that website and get access to all the episodes and the interviews we've done since 2009. We also got our Patreon page where you can find exclusive interview clips. So this is for not for the general public, but for those that want to go above and beyond and support the movement. We got a Patreon page and you can get exclusive audio interview clips from artists that we've interviewed in the past, right? So these are clips that you've not heard yet. It's only for the Patreon subscribers. Also, we got the merch page, the Big Cartel, outtheboxmedia.bigcartel.com. Got the snapback hat, the tees, the jerseys, the coffee mugs. Everything is up there. We got Out the Box Talks podcast items as well too. So yeah, man, definitely support that if you like what we're doing. What else? And also for donations, we got the Cash App. You can send donations to # Out the Box Rep if you love what we're doing and you just want to, throw a little extra support that way. And you could also do the donations on PayPal as well. So paypal.me/outtheboxmedia. And also, this information will be in the description of the video and on the description of the audio podcast as well. If you are tuning in via YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit that yet, and hit the notification bell. Also, you can find the podcast on audio platforms where you usually listen to podcasts like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Just look for Out the Box Talks and follow that. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Like I said, man, I got my brother A-Level here today, man. We got some dope artists in the spot or in the building, the studio building, the virtual building. So let's go in and jump into that, man. I want to just welcome to our Out the Box Talks listening and viewing audience, my brothers Yahzeed Divine and Rhinoceros Funk. Welcome, man, to the Out the Box Talks platform. All right, let me just bring these brothers in. What's good, brothers?
What's good? Peace. What's going on, brothers? Out the box. Let's get it.
Thank you very much for the invite, man. Bro.
Yeah, man.
Indeed. How y'all doing, man? What's good with y'all at this stage in time?
Go ahead, y'all take that.
We doing it, man. We got music. Right now we just about creating good music and putting that energy back out into hip hop and just to the world. What we do is just magical, and it's just about putting that good music back into people's hands. We about having choices and just giving people that good food for their minds, and for their spirit, to uplift people, but to make people think. It's not about dumbing down. It's about about elevating, leveling up, like my man A-Level, right? We got leveling up.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Peace to my brothers, You know what I mean? So we definitely, got a good bond, a good flow, and a good source of information and energy, and that's what we give into the masses.
That's what's up.
I love the fact that you mentioned that, Yaz, with regards to soul music and food for the soul. I just wanted to ask you guys, like, how important is that to you to do food for the soul, music for the soul, as opposed to just, just doing music just for music's sake? I mean, you got a lot of guys, a lot of people that's making music nowadays, way more making music now than it was 20 to 30 years ago. And people are doing it for all kinds of reasons, man. So how do you guys, want to, how should I say, throw your dart in the wall and make sure that it stays there,
I mean,
definitely. Go ahead, get that, Rhino. Get that, man. Yeah. Tell him.
I mean, it's we were talking with Krill a little earlier about that, is in a sense, because I mean, we hang out, we create in a space where there's always people doing their thing. There's always MCs. I mean, we have the show Guerilla Blues Radio. We got people coming up every goddamn Tuesday. We're playing different music every Tuesday, and we hear this. You know what I mean? Yahzeed I think we've done like over 350 shows. I think Yahzeed's been to like 349. I mean, he's always there. Although he don't be on the air, he's there every fucking week, man. So I mean, we hear these songs together. We see where the coach is going. So I mean, to answer your question, I mean, we are. I mean, the play-by-player now. We see how the game is shifting. We see how the game is being played, and having that analytical eye has us say, yo, man, we're gonna build how we want to build. Like we're gonna distribute music we're gonna create how we want to create, because we see what everybody else is doing, man. So we're observers. That's the number one. We're observers, and that's what created our bond and shit. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, what you got?
We definitely and based off of that, we definitely spend a lot of time together and vibing and on that frequency where we see all these things, and so we naturally are creators. And so when we together, instead of sitting there like how everybody say, yo, hate, we hate. No need to hate, you know what I mean? But we create, and so we want to make something that's worthy of the people's ear, that's worthy to touch the soul, that's worthy for people to take these jewels with them, whether it be now, whether it's 150 years from now, whatever. But it's going to be something that sticks with you. And so that's where once again, talking about what you were talking about, about the hitting soul. We create this music that inspires and connects with people. Like we, as MCs, how it is, man. We the voice for the voiceless. Like a lot of people can't say what they feel, put it into words, not let alone speak it in a poetic form. And even to get even deeper on that, than to do it in front of people. So we putting this out in front of the world for everybody to, the judge and everybody, oh, you hating. But it's not about hating. We see this shit, and then we want to build off of that. We see it and we want to create something. And so this is what sparked us, and we bring that energy out to the people.
And just to add on, there is nothing wrong, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, homeless kittens, and diverse steel bike chains. I don't care. There is nothing wrong with creating out of hate. You can create out of hate. This is where we get rebellious music. This is where we get rebellious. This is where we get all music, right? People create love songs because they hate getting their heart broken. It's all right to have something that you hate and then create out of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At no point are we like, oh, we want those chains, we want those yachts. That's different. But we're using what we see and say, you know what? It should be different, right? We examine not only the hip hop culture, society. There's a lot of terms, a lot of views upon race and government that we use in our rhymes. And I think for that reason, it's extremely political, because we have to indicate, yo, this is wrong. So yes, I'm hating on white superiority. If I hate white superiority, then goddamn, let me create about that, right? It's all right to create from hate. Thank you, y'all. That was good.
Yo, no, you're absolutely right.
I feel that. And let's just try to expound on that word hate, right? Because that word gets taken out of context so much and so often, and mostly for the wrong things and the wrong reasons. people use that term hate, especially when you want to creatively critique something.
Right.
Now, I don't know about y'all, man, but I came from an era where it's like, you know, everything wasn't permissible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to work on your craft, and it wasn't received in a negative way. Like Black Moon used to get booed at shows, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Public Enemy was getting booed at shows.
Right.
But it took elders of the game, like Melle would say, listen, young blood, go work on your stuff. Work on your craft, bro.
That's right.
And because if it wasn't for the booing and the creative criticism, we wouldn't have got gems like whatchamacallit, Enter the Stage. We wouldn't have got that.
I mean, I'm sorry.
But when you're living in a society, in a community where everything is permissible, and then you can't even tell the forest from the trees no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we need that difference.
Yes.
We need to be like, okay, this dude is here.
Right.
I can get here, but I need to work harder to get there. You know what I mean?
Word. Yo, so I want. Go ahead, Rhino.
Just to sound on what you said with the sense of hate. Yeah, I mean, I think the word hate has been transcended into automatically assumed jealousy. Like, I am jealous of you. No, there is no jealousy. There's a critique of you. And if you can't handle a critique, then you shouldn't be doing art. That's what art is. I mean, go to a museum. People are looking at it and giving their interpretation. People are critiquing it. If you don't want to be critiqued, then go into the closet and hang yourself. And speaking of booed, I mean, I've been booed off stage, man. Like doing early up, man, doing open mics and shit. You get booed, and what do? You go home and you get better, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Just different levels. There's different levels to it. It's not just about hating. Right. You're right. That's fact.
Krill, what you have? I'm sorry to cut you off, brother.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to also go into like how y'all even came together. Like I know that both of y'all have had like solo careers prior to coming together as AOR. But talk to me about how that relationship manifested to where you guys decided, you know what, we're gonna put out a project together.
Well, it's got to be TME, right, y'all? I mean, you started with TME because I met y'all through TME. So, I mean, I started. Well, first and foremost, shouts to Fred Ones. So, in 2009.
I'm sorry. What's TME, brothers?
TME Studios. It has a long history of providing some great sounds in the Bronx, man. And Fred has been doing it for quite some time. Fred once again, Guerilla Blues Radio, Sonic Sum, just so much that Fred does. But the older heads remember the studio being up in the Grand Concourse. Now we're at 127 Lincoln Ave. Before it was over at Hunts Point.
199, 199 in the Concourse.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been around for quite some time. But in 2009, Fred Ones and I started doing showcases, the Art of Lyrics, and that started because I've been doing college. I did college radio since 1998. So when I met Fred, I had no radio show. My radio, I had left Albany, and I was like, "Yo, dude, I need to be on stage. I have this addiction to being on stage and performing and having MCs and just providing music." So Fred and I started doing that, and that's how I met Yahzeed. And then we, I mean, being in the same ciphers, rhyming, and we did a song together called Salvation some years back. And
Shout out Akbar. Shout out
Akbar and Fred Ones on production.
Fred Ones, yeah.
And then again, just hanging out, being in the studio together, and then we started doing side songs. And then one day, drunk as hell, I called him up at 3 a.m. and I said, "Yo, let's create a group called Sophisticated Savage," with him, myself, and my man MC Whiteout. So we did that. And we just had a blast being around each other, creating and shit. But Yahzeed and I would see each other more than we saw Whiteout because he lives upstate. He has a family upstate. So Yahzeed and I just were always hanging out, drinking fucking Coors and smoking weed and cigarettes. And we said, you know what? It's true, right?
Yeah.
And then he would come to my house, and I mean, and then he just became like my brother and shit.
Let's do it.
Eating dinner together, and I think the turning point was I went back to production, and I found this program that I said, oh shit, I can really. It feels great. So I started making beats. I got my own home studio, so he was always around. I was like, yo, we got to make an album together, and that's how that kind of manifested. I went back all the way back, but
Right.
how it turned out.
It did, and then especially around the piggyback off that, around the time of the pandemic, when the pandemic started, that's when we kind of, everyone was home in quarantine, and we, they were still doing Rhino and Fred One was still doing Guerilla Grooves every Tuesday, and so it was just like pretty much us at the studio still. Yeah. And as we kept spending more time, and me and Rhino were like, "Yo, let's do this album. Let's do it. We just started doing songs. Actually, we're like, let's just do songs, just to keep a little sanity and just to keep it moving. And we just one song led into the next. Next, it was like, yo, let's put this together. Let's concept right here. Agents of Reform, and that's how the Agents were born.
Good add on. Good add on there, y'all. Good add on.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Say that, brother.
I said great add on. Great add on. Good piggyback. No, it's a good piggyback. Good job.
I'm getting really a lot of feedback right now, brother. I'm sorry.
All right, Krill, take over.
Nah, it's all good. I wanted y'all to talk about AOR Agents of Reform. Like, what's the whole purpose of this group? I know it transformed out of Sophisticated Savage, where it's just both of y'all now. And I'm not saying, I know Sophisticated Savage is something else, but talk to me about this group and like the whole purpose of this new album, like the meaning behind it and everything.
Well, I mean, it's like Yahzeed said, we were just making songs, right? And I was doing the pre-production, and we would listen to these songs. I'm like, damn, you said some real militant shit there, man. Yahzeed's talking about the production of colonization and people locked up in tenements, and I mean, and giving some real, like he said prior, man, some food for thought, man, an understanding of how macro sociology works, like how structures work, how this is not whim, this is a designed system. We live in a design system and designed economics in a system of marginalization, a system that supports white supremacy, and we acknowledge those things, right? We acknowledge that your elected officials are fucking trash human beings that aren't doing shit for you. I mean, we acknowledge that there's trillions of dollars spent to colonize other people, but nothing to fix society. Right. And I'm hearing this in his rhymes, and I'm obviously putting them in my rhymes. Yep. And we're like, yo, dude, like, we have to be the same way that there's agents out there to get you to buy Tide or people to get you to invest in them so you can steal. These are all agents, agents of a particular group that are trying to get at you. Well, we are agents as well, but our agency is about reform, and that reform is cultural and societal and economic.
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly right. Come on. Agents, baby. Agents of Reform, man. Got to make change, man. That's how we do it. That's the only way we do it.
And I know it.
But
no, I was saying, and I know that the project is currently available on an exclusive website, but I'm sure it'll become available more, on the streaming platforms. Like, talk to me about y'all reasoning behind why y'all decided to just release it exclusively like that for now.
Yeah. I mean, we had this conversation earlier about the ideas, the concepts of streaming, right? Man, you ain't getting paid off a motherfucking. Can I say Spotify? I mean, without getting whatever. I mean, you ain't getting paid of a lot. I'll keep it basic. Of a lot of these streaming sites, man. I mean, there are definite techniques being at play here to prevent people from getting money on those things. It's ridiculous. You have to have like. Come on, you get like 0.000 of a cent. That's not even a real thing. So, I mean, in order for us to at least, because we're not being funded by a machine here. We're self-funded. Like there's times that he was out of work, then I was out of work, then he was at work. I mean, it's a balance of a friendship. And see, we paid money for this to be done.
Yes, sir.
I mean, time and money. So we say, you know what? let's open up a place where we can get at least a little bit of money back,
Right.
and then give it to the streaming sites.
Right.
So we put it up on Rap FM. That's WRAP.FM/AOR, and we have it on there. We started on there from August 3rd, and it'll continue to be on there if you want to go support. We have T-shirts. If you buy 2 T-shirts, you get the album for free. But then on September 7th, we're going to put it on all media sites. It's going to be a little different. We're going to do little drops here and there, add different endings, and then it's going to be one extra song.
Yeah.
It'll be an extra song produced by Fred Ones.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not just a money grab because we're still poor, but
Right.
it's you know it's a bit to just change it up.
Yeah, it's like incentive, you know what I mean? And I like the fact that like you guys didn't even go crazy with the price. Like, you know what I'm saying? From what I understand, it's only like a little over $10 or $10 exactly. So yeah, man, that's you know, that's showing that it's not, like you said, Rhino, it's not really about the money, because it's 2 of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have easily charged 20, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted y'all to, you know, just speak on that. You know, for people that might be interested, like, oh, where do we get this? You know, like letting them know a little bit. Hey, Lev, you got a next question?
Yeah, just to touch on the point of what Rhino just mentioned with regards to purchasing the album versus streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like we in an environment right now where the culture is pretty much everybody streams. You know, you can get for the price of how much, you know, dollars a month, I can get access to every piece of music in the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? But that benefits more so the consumer than it does the actual creators. You know, because like you were saying, you get 0.000 cents on a dollar. And if y'all want us to continue to keep doing this, you know, and do this for a living, well, we don't have to worry about working at Kmart in the daytime and then doing this at night. You know what I mean?
Right.
Support artists.
Yeah.
Buy the record, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, as opposed to just streaming it and saying, hey, this is what it is, on to the next thing. You know, but that's the environment that we living in, where everything is just mass produced and mass consumed. You know, and you know, nothing really sticks to anybody's system. So I just wanted to ask you guys, like, what's your take on that with regards to streaming? You know, who does, you know, how do we, I know there's benefits and gains on both sides of it, you know, because you get yourself promoted out there more, but what's your take on that?
I mean, we don't have, we're not big dudes. We don't have massive streams. Like, I don't even have Spotify on my phone. Like we're not those guys. Like Yahzeed and I are not these guys that are always, I mean, on their phones. We don't do that. Like we're analog dudes. And maybe does that hurt us? Maybe it does. But does that make us give a fuck? No. We're gonna keep creating. You know what I mean? We don't seek the validation of streams in order to keep creating. We're gonna keep creating. I mean, keep rapping till one of us dies.
That's it, man. That's it, man. We gonna keep doing it. It doesn't matter. The whole focus is just to get it into people's hands, man. Because it's meant, like we said, like Rhino said earlier. You know, we do this for us, but you know, we speak for, you know, for those who can't necessarily do that. So, or people who just feel that shit, and it's just like, you know, you gonna feel that. As long as we put it into people's hands, the right people get it. You know what I mean? Others may catch on later, but it's gonna be out there. You know what I mean? But like the difference from now and back then, back then they had a lot more choices, and so that's what we give them. We're giving them another choice.
Yeah. I like that. I like that point. It's like I can't worry about everyone listening to it's not party music. I mean, it's not music that the ignorant is gonna like. If your goal in life is material items and nonsense, this is not what you want to listen to. Go out there, listen to what you want to listen to. Merry Christmas all day, every day for you. You know what I mean? But if you want to, you know, if you want to hear some lyrics, some wonderful observations, some ill drums and some ill samples. Hey, come over, man. Give me a kiss on the cheek.
Ill wordplay, man.
We too old. We too old to care what these do. We don't care what Young Bucks is listening to, B.
Nah, not at
No
all.
cares.
Not at all.
None whatsoever. You keep listening, young man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
why you're a young man. Come on.
Yes, sir. That's
Yeah,
right.
man.
Give it to
That's
him
it,
raw, man.
Indeed,
Give it to him
man.
raw, baby. Give it to him raw.
Yeah, baby.
That's how they need it, man. Just take this
Word.
dose of medicine and keep it going. Keep it moving.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know
again,
what's-
yo, Rap FM, WRAP.FM /AOR. Rap FM is a boom bap station, 24 hours, 365, and that's why we chose that venue. I think it was incredible. It gets a lot of traffic, so why not have it on a site? They already sell merchandise there. They already sell our merchandise there.
That makes sense.
They broadcast Guerilla Grooves Radio every Tuesday at 7. They do a rebroadcast at noon on Wednesdays. They have a whole bunch of boom bap shows, great DJs. So why not have it there? You know,
say that again. Rap FM. What?
Rap FM, WRAP.FM, and that's just you want to go listen to. I'm telling you, boom bap. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a massive library. Again, shouts to my man E-Rock, who DJ E-Rock. I mean, he still own a record store, but has just an immense library of stuff, and created this online radio show. And you know, like I said, he broadcasts our show on his radio station, and that's why we decided just to put the album up on there and see how it does. But that's WRAP.FM /AOR if you want to buy the album. And again, if you buy 2 shirts, buy a Yahzeed shirt, buy a Rhinoceros Funk shirt, you get the album for free.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Go get that. Go get that. Go get that, man. It's good food for your head, food for your soul, man. Get that. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Get that.
Don't buy a chopped cheese tomorrow and buy the album.
Right. You get a whole meal. Get a whole
food. Man. Feed your mind, not your butt, man. Chopped cheese gonna kill you.
Right, this shit gonna give you some life, man.
Oh,
dude, I'm in the Bronx, B. I see people buying chopped cheese at 7 a.m. I'm like, ooh, your day is ruined, dogs. Dude, a chopped cheese at 7?
Already
done. I want to go back to bed forever after that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask y'all, like, one thing I noticed about y'all just listening to your music, like, both of y'all are like heavy spitters on the mic. Like, how have y'all been able to like play off of the strengths of each other in producing this album and coming up with this album? Like, did y'all have to be like, yo, nah, you Yahzeed, you go first on this track, or like, how did y'all work, you know, that chemistry of both being like really great spitters and you know, for this project?
Can I set that off?
No, you got that. That's a good question, man.
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah, our energy and our connection, the way we vibe is just it's really amazing. You know what I mean? Like we will sit down and it could be, you know, a matter of 10, 15 minutes. And it'll just be whether, you know, we might just be, you know, conversing and having thoughts back and forth, or, you know, somebody will say something and be like, you know, right, I'll be like, oh, that's a great line. Let me write this down. Yo, what'd you say? And then what'd you say? Yo, I got this beat here. Like, I got this beat here. And then boom, next thing you know, we're creating a hook in like 15 minutes. And then boom, we're off to writing. And then we're recording right there. So it's like we can get a song done in, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes from conception to recording. You know what I mean? And it's just, it doesn't have to be a you know, who goes first, because it's about what fits for the song. It's about what's most organic. It's about what feels right. It's not about necessarily having any kind of formula. I mean, we definitely like to do things in a certain balanced kind of way mathematically. But as far as creating, we let the energies flow, and we just naturally build off each other and bounce off each other. That's just it's a magical, beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Rhino, hit him, man.
Nah, I completely agree. But the whole thing is that I want to add is like people have to understand that Yahzeed is a fucking savant. I mean, not an idiot savant. He's an intelligent savant. So if you're around him, his mind is always rapping, always. So there's times that I'm like, yo, man, hear this beat, and then I'll just like there's I mean, I think one of the best hooks on our album on The Appeal, he came from Yahzeed. And I just played the beat one day. He's like, "Oh man, that makes me think of this hook," and I'm like, "Yo, keep doing it." And I can easily feed off him. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that we're able to do well, is that feeding off of each other, and there's never any idea of of who's better or nah. It's just like, yo, let's create together because we both respect each other and respect what we're saying.
That's facts. That's how you get the best out of what you do. You know, it's different than, I know a lot of people sometimes, location prevents people, nowadays people, send you a track, they'll send you whatever, and you just, it's really impersonal. But we're, like I said, like Rhino said, man, like we're just really good friends, and so we like to hang out together. So it's easy for us to create and come up with ideas. And we have very similar humor, very similar, little attributes that we definitely we vibe so well, and so it's just it definitely manifests when we record. You hear that.
Let me add something too. I think it was another great thing is that this album was produced, written, and recorded in this room. So while I'm making a beat, Yahzeed had input. While we were creating the hooks, Yahzeed had input. While we were composing the song to say, yo, what do we want here? Should there be a drop there? It was a creative process that was shared by the both of us, right? When normally, like you mentioned, sometimes distance, you send somebody a verse, and next thing you know, it comes back, you're like, oh man, you should have done this. Like, you don't have the input. In this process, we both had input, and I made sure that even though I made the beats and I'm sitting here, he would go home, I'm like, yo, listen to this, and you tell me what you feel. And he would come back, and he's like, yo, man, maybe we could do this different. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And we're looking for samples, he has samples. When we're looking for like drops and bites, he had drops and bites, and I would just find them, put them together, and we would concur 99.8% of the time.
That's right. Positive.
Now, with that experience that you guys had putting this Agents of Reform together, do you guys, was it always that the process of putting together stuff together organically, or was it just pass the data around, or was this always the creative flow? Was this always something where you guys work together and this is how we put the album together? We don't just pass the music back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we definitely just we agreed on mostly everything that was put out, and so like I said, we see things very similar, and so as our visions kind of came together, both throwing ideas in there, it just came to be like a great melting pot of just of creation. And it was just how we did it. It was just the perfect way to do it for us.
And the reason why I say that is because, a lot of albums, like Rhino was mentioning earlier, seem to be getting produced like that, where it's just like, you send me the beat and I write the verse, and it's in the back end. You can kind of really feel the difference when the project is done.
Right.
You taste and you feel the cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? It's tangible. You can see it. You can hear it. That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was go here. Here, y'all go home with the beat. Think about something. We'll meet tomorrow, and then if one of us had a feeling for a hook, the other one would add on. And it was always organic. There was never here's what I made and we're sticking with it and that's it. Like, nah, man, there was input all the time. Every song, every sound of it, there was always input.
That's right.
That's right. I mean, if you guys can touch on it, man, this is a topic that has kind of been pretty much in the air with the latest that's been happening. I mean, you hear Mickey Fax and Royce going at it, and Lupe going at it. There seems to be something in the air as it pertains to real MCing, in the air, and of it becoming more of a contagious, more infectious thing now than it has been, in the last 10 to 20 years. And it seems to be coming to the surface. I mean, you see the versus battle with Locks and the Dips, and really separating the men from the boys on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Of who can MC and who is not there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's so important, and it's healthy for the younger people that want to see this, that want to do this, is saying like, okay, rhyming is not as easy as I think it is. You know what I'm saying? Rocking a crowd is not as easy as I thought it would be. So if you guys could speak on that in terms of what it means to you guys to be able to show people the art of emceeing versus just being a plain entertainer.
Let me get this, y'all, because we spoke about it before you came in, Al, and we give you all on stage. And here's my story, because you mentioned this person earlier, and now I'm able to bring them back. About to be 2 years ago, January 19, before the whole shit hit, we were performing at TME. We were practicing at TME in order to prepare for a show, and Melle was there having a session. And he kind of came out of his session, and he saw us performing in the gallery. We had our mics, we had our footwork. You know what I mean? I'm double dutching. Yahzeed's doing the moonwalk. and he came out, and he just stood there and shit. And we finished and shit. We finished our set, and he came up to us and said, "Yo, y'all dope." And that to me was like, "Yo, that's the validation right there."
Wow.
I mean, when Melle tells you you're dope, that's it, B. I mean, put my store on the ground, B. I'm ready to be out.
And he just don't co-sign anybody.
No.
Nah.
Exactly.
That means a lot.
Yeah, man. It meant a lot. It meant, and it still means a lot to us. So we know that what we're doing is MCing. You know what I mean? We know that what we're doing, we're MCing. We're going out there and remembering our verses. There's no need to come out with our songs out now. We're doing our verses, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? We're each other's hype man.
Yep.
We're getting the crowd involved.
Yep.
This is a 3-ring circus right here, baby boy.
Yeah. It's a great show. It's entertaining. You know what I mean? So this is what it's all about. It's about really putting that energy out and that effort, like Rhino said. We don't go out there, bullshitting the crowd. We don't go out there, I'm just gonna do a piece of this and part of that and have this playing in the back. We go out there and give energy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like when you used to go see old artists, you know what I mean? Like they were cats. Like Miles Davis, who just, you ask him to play certain shit, I'm not playing that shit. Go listen to the album. You know what I mean? Like I'm playing this. And so it's like, as an artist, whatever zone that you're in, you're giving the crowd that energy. You know what I mean? You're giving them that good music. And so whatever you give them, they're gonna receive. And so as a true artist, you're gonna give them what you want to give. That's the caring and what you do. You want to give. So we gonna give our all. Like Rhino said, we put our all into it. We go out on the stage, we leave it all on the court. You know what I mean? We don't hold nothing back, and we make sure that the crowd feels that energy. So after the show, the crowd they hyped up, ready to come rock with us. You know what I mean? So that's what they people appreciate that. When they see you out there really putting in that energy, that work. So it's just to be expected when you see us.
Word.
Dope. Talk to me about the production on that album. Like, who is like the main contributor to the beats? Because in listening to the beats, a lot of it sounds very like upbeat, and like I feel like the energy on the album is like it's not made to put you to sleep. You know what I mean? It keeps you lively, and the way y'all spit, it just that y'all spit with a lot of energy too. So and the beats match that. So talk to me about how the beats were constructed, who was involved with the production.
So I mean, it's like I said earlier, man. I got back into producing, and I fell into a hole, man. I was like, yo, I have to start doing this shit again. So I completely produced the entire album. You know what I mean? Fucking Yahzeed, but Yahzeed had inputs on what kind of drums or a bass line we should use, because I mean
Rhino did that shit, homie. Did that shit, homie.
But you're very musical, B. So there was I accepted a lot of his input, but I mean I produced all the tracks and shit, and it was just looking for joints that, I mean, hit the soul in a way, man. Like there's samples out there from Brazil, from Lebanon. I mean, I used some 1940s Union music. I mean, there's so much on there from around the world that it's just grabbing that right portion, man, and using them drums. But I produced the entire album.
That's right.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, Love, you got another question?
Nah, I just wanted to talk about the track, the appeal. Speak on how that track came together.
That's another sample that chopped up from this Brazilian mixtape that I have. I heard that, and one day I played it for Yah, and Yah was like, "Yo, this is crazy." And then he had that hook that he had stored in his brain somewhere, level 5, subsection D, and he pulled it up. He was like, "Yo, man," he did it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Turn the mic on, recorded it, and we built around that hook.
Just like that. That's how we create, man. It doesn't take nothing but a spark, man, and then it's on. It's just, and it's like wildfire. Before you even know it, the song is done.
What is y'all favorite track on this album, on this project?
Oh wow, that's kind of hard, man. I mean, to be honest with you, bro, like one of my favorites is The Appeal. Another one of my favorites, I would say, is maybe The Agenda. But then also, I would say one of my favorites is Bronx Cheer. You know what I mean?
All right, good. See, I got a lot of favorites. That's a good thing.
It's kind of hard, man. Evidence, evidence. You know what I mean? It's like, source. There's a lot of them, So
when you sit with them that long, they all become your baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And then they all have their own. That's why they all have their own tale behind them, right? What was going on when we were recording them? Like, what was the emotion behind them? Like, so I mean, man, like, it's pretty difficult to answer that, man. But I agree with you. I mean, I sat with them each song for like 1,000 hours, so I love all of them the same. But it's very hard to decide which one.
Yeah, it's hard, man. But it's time for you guys to take them home. All the listeners to go get that and tell us which one is your favorites.
That's right.
You know what I mean? See which one is your baby. You know what I mean? Take that home.
Again, man, go to wrap.fm/AOR and pick it up, man. Get a t-shirt or two. You get 2 t-shirts, you get a free album.
Yeah.
Dope. Like, talk to me about how long did it take for y'all to even record this project, man? Like, was this something that y'all were just able to knock out in a rhythm, or did it take some time to come back and forth to?
I like that word rhythm because I felt like it was a rhythm because it was COVID, so there was nobody around. You know what I mean? So it felt like a rhythm because we could chill till like 3-4 in the morning, and there was really nothing else to do because everybody was locked down. So that felt like a rhythm. But I think we were able to knock them down faster than we were able to mix them and master them. What do you think, y'all?
I can't really hear you, brother. Say that one more time.
I said that you have a nice smile, and I love your glasses.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I like the way you smell, bro. I like the way you smell.
I can smell you too. But it felt like a rhythm because people were. It was COVID, so it felt like a rhythm.
It was. We were definitely in a bubble because everyone was in a bubble. We were just in a creative bubble, and like I said, like it just happened just by us hanging out, and it was a good energy because it was non-diluted with so much, I guess, connections with everyone else, with their different ideas and agendas and such, like we were kind of free to have our own thoughts and put them together without any hindrance, you know what I mean? So it was an interesting time, the COVID kind of proved to be a good blackboard for us in a sense to really like, get to work. And so that's what we did, man. We went to work, man, and we just, kept it moving, kept it progressive. And this is what we came up with. We came up with a masterful piece of concentrated thought. You know, that's what it was.
Dope. What do y'all hope fans or listeners can take away from this project? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's in a way, in listening to it, I find that it's pretty dense in terms of the lyrics. You really got to listen, you know, to really grasp all that you guys are saying. Like, what do you hope listeners take away in this music experience with this album?
Let me bang that off the backboard. Conversation, right? I say that shit in one of the lines, man. It's frustrations and boom bap conversations, man. Let's have conversations. Like Yahzeed said, this COVID shit was a fucking springboard, right? And instead of having all of your misguided, unresearched opinions on social media, then let's have an actual conversation, people, right? If we're gonna watch people fucking burning cities down because we live in a world that practices beautiful inequality, let's discuss how we can make this an equal and egalitarian world. Let's have a conversation, right? If you come up to me and say, yo, I heard that album and there isn't anything after that, then I don't think you really listened.
You didn't hear it.
You heard the album, but did you really listen? Because you should have came up to us and said, yo, what did you mean by that line?
Wow.
And let's have a conversation. Let's educate each other, or at least let us educate you.
Right. Everybody can learn something, man. You know?
Learn something. Stay stupid.
Right. Don't stay stupid, right? But that's really true, man. You know, so much bullshit out here, man. I think that's so perfect how Rhino put that. You know, it's really about us getting together and being able to really come together and discuss things. And then once we do that, then we can definitely we can figure out and solve problems.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But as long as we are misinformed, you have people coming out the woodwork telling you, you know, they heard such and such, and now they're going off, you know, off misinformation, and it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's on the loose, like, you know, it's like, you know, it's taking people out, you know, by crazy numbers. So we just want to give you that good shit, you know, make you think and make you communicate with your fellow man, you know, fellow woman, you know, be able to build. Let's talk about it. Let's get to the root of the problem. You know what I'm saying? And together, you know, like I you know, just saying, it's like, you know, one hand wash the other, together we wash the face. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we come together and we can make more than happen than just, you know, me by myself. You know, we come together now we stronger. You know, and we sharpen each other, and that's how we stay strong. You know, so we keep building like that.
How are people receiving the project so far? Like, you know, I feel like you guys are saying so much in the lyrics that, as I was saying earlier, it takes a really keen listener for people to really gather. Like, do you find like that this project is going to take time for a listener? You know what I mean? You know, or like what's the feedback been so far, even with that? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, let me just say that I think, you know, the feedback that I've gotten has always been people have been quite amazing and kind of like just put into a different state. You know what I mean? Like a more of an introspective state. Like Rhino said earlier, you know, like not everything is about club hopping and bumping. You know, sometimes, you know, you got to be a little more serious. Sometimes you have to think deeply on things. So this album kind of is a shift, and it allows people to kind of get into those feelings and see things from other perspectives that they might not have seen it from. But it touches on things that they might have not wanted to deal with or talk about. And so almost, you know, and also not to even forget, but to even hit your last question, you were like, you know, what do we want the people to take from this? You know, I definitely want, you know, people to be able to feel empowered. You know what I mean? And like from what we're doing, like to think for yourself and to question and to bring forth, you know, this communication. And so, you know, it's to stand up and not never give up. You know, that's kind of the message. You know what I mean? Like don't just take the shit because they force feeding you the shit. You know what I mean? Like you take it, then you know you just a you know, you're a prisoner now. You know what I mean? But We got to be in control of our own destinies. You know what I mean? It's not about blaming nobody else. Oh yeah, this system is fucking. Yeah, it is. It is. You know what I'm saying? But now, what do we do with that? Now we got to, you know, we got to change the game. We have to infiltrate. You know what I mean? Like Rhino said, we're all agents. But who do you work for? Who do we work for? We work for the people. We're about the people. We're not about misleading the masses. We're about giving them information and just letting them feel free to question, and just to to let that mind grow. And so that's what that is. So we definitely want people to feel inspired by this album and to feel that power. You know, we all got power, and when you put that into action and practice, get it. We can get it.
Right. I mean that's how we open the album, man. The first song is called "Which Side Are You On?" Which side are you on, man?
Right.
Which side are you on, man? I mean, and it goes, whether the left or the right, hold tight when we ignite. We side with the people and prepare for the fight. I mean, what side are you on, man? Empower yourself to know, get some social consciousness, some understanding, and then pick a side, man. Because there's obvious conflict out there.
Yeah.
Empower yourself mentally.
Just give us one fun fact about each one of you. You know.
Oh, I got this, y'all. I got
get
this,
it,
B.
Man. Get it.
So, yo, crazy fucking story, dogs. And it reminded me because I found another one in one of my books. So we're about to get on a flight to Miami, and I'm like, yo, man, this airport is very thorough. Make sure you ain't got nothing on you. Clean your fucking wallet up. So he starts cleaning up his wallet, mad garbage, and he's throwing out mad shit in his wallet, and he pulls out a $2 bill. And I was like, what the fuck you doing with a $2 bill in your wallet? And he's like, nah, I always have this $2 bill in my wallet. I'm like, you fucking crazy. How the fuck do you have a $2 bill in your wallet? He's like, nah, man, I always have a $2 bill in my wallet. So I look at him, I pull out my wallet, and I also carry a $2 bill in my wallet, dude.
Boom.
I've been doing that for years. Didn't
Get
even
out
know
of
it.
here.
That's right.
You want to see my wallet?
That's my bro.
Dude, we both carry $2 bills in our wallets and never knew that shit.
Never knew that shit. Look at that shit. Great minds think alike, yo.
Fun
Crazy.
fact.
That's a fun fact. We the source, like where the sun's at.
Yeah,
look at the rhyme.
yeah.
Go ahead, Yahzeed. You was gonna give your point to us.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one, man. I think that's the best one of all because that's both.
No doubt.
That's hands down. I can't top that, man. That's a great story because you know
bill.
How many people do you know carry $2 bills in their wallet? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly
we know each other for years, and we never spoke about this. You know what I mean? But then all of a sudden, this one moment, it brought that out. You know what I mean? And so it was amazing, man. Like, you know, it's just another similarity that we have, man. You know what I'm saying? Some real funny shit, man. That's dope.
Dope.
Yo, here's my $2 bill right here, kid.
See, I might pull mine out. Niggas might try to rob me out here for that shit. Hold on, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, Rhino, talk a little bit about your role at Guerilla Grooves Radio, man. Because I feel like I've seen you on IG spinning and doing interviews and just talk to me about how you're involved over there a little bit more.
It's more than an involvement. It came out of my brain. I started doing radio back in 1998, 23 years ago, up at SUNY Albany, and I had a radio show from 98 to about 05. But from 98 to 2001, we used to call it the Food Stamp Radio Program because it was with me and a couple of boys. And then they graduated. I mean, we all graduated, but I stayed. And then I changed it to Guerilla Grooves Radio. I kept that down to 05. And then I came back to New York City, ran into Fred. We started doing live shows in the Bronx, and we moved to the Spanish Harlem. And MCs would come from all over, man. We did these live shows. And you know, as live shows were really dwindling and venues were dwindling, I kept bringing it up to Fred. I'm like, yo, man, let's do this internet radio shit. And at 2015 in January, he said, yo, let's do it. So we set up at TME Studios. And you know, we've been rocking since 2015. like 360 shows, something like that. And every Tuesday we go live, rain, sleet, snow. We did a Christmas show, New Year's, doesn't matter. Yeah, man, I hosted, tell a lot of dick jokes, get political once in a while, but it's a lot of fun. And we try to, not only interview MCs and producers, but graph writers, artists, actors, comedians, whoever we find interesting. So it's like I said, man. Earlier it's like a three-ring circus, man. We're in there asking viable questions, keeping conversation going, and of course the skills of Fred Ones behind the turntables. I mean, this man comes in every week on Tuesday and plays 30 to 40 songs he's never heard before, and is able to mix them live. Like, we don't pre-record, we don't edit. We do the show 3 hours plus. We get drunk. We we burn some L's and we laugh, and it's just natural. So it's been a fucking honor, to be honest with you, man. And it's something that we always talk about as therapy. And it's beautiful to have a person that was able to say, you know what, I'll take this name of a radio show that you had all these years ago, and I'm like, thank you, because I have the tattoo. So I had to keep the name of the show. I'm already rocking the tattoo. So he was like, yo, let's keep the show, and it's just flourished, man. I'm talking about, we've done over, at this point, like over 1,100 interviews. Like, it's just crazy. And it's been a real ride.
Yo, how do you manage keeping a show running and still keeping a music career, like literally putting out music? That must be an interesting balance to have.
It really is. I mean, and again, it's the radio show provides. I mean, again, it's a thing that where you're like, yeah, man, it's an addiction. It's a goddamn addiction. I mean, I used to have a radio show that I had to like drive 5 miles to get to, and carry my own records into this huge building, and just to get to the elevator to go up. I mean, and my show started at midnight. And when you have that kind of love for attention, let's be honest, I love the attention. So when you have that kind of love for attention and love for playing music and DJing, I mean, you put it into your schedule. You put it into your schedule, and then having the show and listening to what's coming out, new people, and talking to MCs, talking to producers, and being in the culture. I mean, there's times people be like, yo, they ask me something, and I'm like, do you fucking don't remember that I have a radio show? Like, man. And people come to me, oh, you should interview that guy. I'm like, oh, you should listen to the show. I did it 2 weeks ago. Like, I mean, it's part of who the hell you are. You know what I mean? And Yahzeed understands that very well, because people be like, yo, come out here on Tuesday. He's like, nope, I got to go to the radio show. So it's something that we have to be there for, because it keeps us involved in the culture. We are the goddamn culture. Fuck that, yo. I mean, we can argue that shit as to these points, because it's goddamn true. It's every week, fucking validated MCs, producers, people that keep this culture going, that come there to say, yo, this show was the shiznit.
Wow, man. Well said, man. And I got to give y'all props, because y'all put the underground hip hop scene on y'all back. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of the music that y'all display, some sort of like what we do, right? In terms of the music and the artists, I see that, y'all keeping that culture alive. And you said it, you said the culture. I could totally identify with that love, man. It feels like it's kind of like what you're here to do, you know what I mean? So I could dig it, man. Yeah, man. Listen, man, it was a pleasure building with y'all, man. It was really dope being able to chat with y'all tonight, man. I'm gonna put the website up again so people can go get that album.
That's right.
Perfect. Yeah, man. Rap WRAP.FM/AOR, man. Go out there. I mean, again, I'm Rhinoceros Funk. That man right there, that gentleman with the beautiful glasses, is Yahzeed.
Yahzeed. Let's go.
We are, I mean, some honest individuals. We worked really hard on this album. If you want to go out there and support, get it. If not, wait till September 7th. It'll be everywhere, all streaming sites.
Yep.
There'll be an extra song on there, produced by my man Fred Ones. But it's 12 tracks of hard work, lyrics, beats. And I think it's very well put together by two dudes who can really rhyme, man.
That's right, man. Go get that, man.
Word.
WRAP.FM/AOR. Let's go.
Word.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple to remember. Like, I mean, like, you just gotta. It's very short. It's a very short URL, even with the backslash. It's short.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man. A level, you want to say some last words before we get up out of here? You're muted, brother.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, how do y'all want to be remembered on the wall of hip hop? You know, the wall of music.
Dude, like I told you before, Melle said we were dope. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, like we ain't no bums, man. We got respect from people that, I mean, dude, my man Yahzeed has a song out now, produced and featuring Kool Keith. I mean, we work and build with real professionals. Although we're not paid and we ain't out there, we have gotten the daps and the respect from people that we've always respected, that we've always had. I mean, we just did a song with Breeze Brewing, man, on a fucking boat. We was on a boat.
On a boat.
We hung out on a whole day with Breeze Brewing. Check that out. Sophisticated Savage. Sophisticated Savage featured Breeze Brewing. The name of the joint is called Who's That?
Who's That?
Check it out on our YouTube page, the Art of Lyrics YouTube page. Check that out. I mean, we have a lot of shit there. We've been working for a long time. I think that, I mean, we're going to be remembered as hard spitters and people that were never toys. That's it.
We're gonna be remembered, man, as true artists, man. True artists, man. Like, we really live this shit on all levels. You know what I mean? So we do that shit, man.
Word.
Much love, man. Much respect. Thank you, man. Out the Box Media, man. We appreciate you, man. For real. Both of y'all. Y'all my brothers, you know what I mean? We appreciate y'all.
Indeed, man. Thank you, brother.
You already know.
Yeah, man. Love is always there.
True.
You know?
Big out.
Yes,
Box.
man. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all you know, also Agents AOR here. Word, man.
We here, baby. We here.
And yo, man, I wish y'all nothing but success, man. I'm gonna keep checking for the album. I mean, I have it, but I wanna, you know, sit with it, and I didn't get a chance to really go through it like how I usually do. But it's so dense that it's gonna take some time to sit through, man. Sure. But I guess when it does hit streaming and stuff, you'll probably begin to hear like more feedback about it. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, much success to y'all, man. Keep keeping the culture alive and putting that creativity to them bars, man. You know, and the heavy lyrics, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, gentlemen, for real. Much appreciated.
This Jedi Night music, man.
Appreciate y'all, brothers, man. Salute.
Indeed, man. So y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. And to all of our listeners and viewers, remember to go to our website, outtheboxmedia.com. You can also subscribe for free on that website so that we can keep you updated with all the new episodes that we drop. Remember, we drop a new episode every Friday, and it usually features a dope artist, man. You know, artists that we feel is representing the culture right and pushing the culture of hip hop forward. So A Level, man. Any last words you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Nothing, man. All I want to say is, hey, yo, what happened to peace?
Peace.
And we